Hello, you are now listening to the latest video by Cryptocode. This is not like any other of my videos. This is going to be a gameplay footage with me narrating some of my fictional tales. Now, all of these fictional tales will only include fictional original characters developed by me, with some pre-existing characters from Greek mythology, just to tell the lore of my actual original characters. I will have my own adaptations of the events and the lore surrounding Greek mythology for the benefit of this original tale. Hardly, and to know any of this information to the lore of ancient Greece that I'm including in this video has no relation to the actual Greek mythology. For this, I will tell you and encourage you to check out Greek mythology if you are unfamiliar with this. But as for this video, this is purely for my own construction, for my own original characters, and the fictional tale I'm about to tell. With that being said, I hope you enjoy the story. It's not very long, and it's all completely improvised. But I have done some research in thought of these characters, and with this video being the prologue, we'll see how things turn out. But otherwise, I hope you enjoy this video. If anything else, enjoy the gameplay, and if anything else, enjoy the story that I tell. Enjoy the video. Across ancient Greece, north, far to the north, on the Isle of Samothrace, an ancient Greek island represented and inhabited by Greek Olympian gods. Gods worthy of the beauty and ethereal nature of this island, with all of its natural colours brisking vividly within the sunlight as it gazes nurturingly upon all of its land, from the coasts to the mountains. Up high above the mountains in the clouds sits Zeus. Beside him, two of his daughters, Athena and Aphrodite. He and several others inhabit this island, not as their true home, but for their escape, their land of escape and their land of relaxation, where they can put aside their responsibilities and hardships of being the gods, being the mighty Olympians that they have been for so long. To the west of this island of Samothrace sits a man. He goes by the name of Midas. He lives comfortably with his daughter, Marigold. And he and Marigold are happy enough together. They play out in the rays of the sun for days, rushing through the beautiful meadows of flowers and grazing by the lush waterfalls, fulfilling the green, lush area of trees, grass, and plants alike around them. Marigold asks for nothing more, as she is simply so comfortable and so at peace with the surroundings around her and the elements securing her safety. Midas, however, he bores of the same agenda. He only wishes to do more for Marigold, even though it isn't asked. And he feels ashamed that he is without the power to bring true greatness and secure the best happiness that his daughter could possibly have. For this is the one thing they are without, and they are without the privilege of all materials. For their only materials is what they have. A humble beach house on the coast of the western Samothrace. Never changed, with no potential to be changed. Despite this, Marigold is at true peace as she thrives on her own gratefulness of the things that are given around her for free. Midas tires of the same days reminding him that he is without the power to show his only daughter that he is the giver of the best happiness to his daughter. He tires of it so much that he wanders, he sits in his own thoughts endlessly as time passes on and on. Minutes turn into hours, hours go into longer, they pass through days. He wonders, what could he do to change? What could he do to improve? There's nothing much to his resource, there's nothing much to his ability to change anything. There are no workplaces. There are no places of income. There is only the chosen, and then there is the working. He sits tired, but remembers the tales that he was told once before from that old person that he met so long ago. So long ago he couldn't remember, but what he did remember was the story he was told. The existence of the hideous underworld, ruled by such a tyrant god, underlord, going by the name of Hades. He sits up and he wonders to himself if it really was just a story or if it was some sort of warning. He sits in his own thoughts of this, going backwards and forwards, like a self-argument that would never end if it was left untouched. And after concluding, telling himself in his own gaslighting that this is truly a thing of existence, he wants and finally sets foot in search of this crooked underworld. Marigold politely questions him, asking what he wants with such superstition, with such stories, only believed by those younger and less wise. Midas brushes this off and only accommodates her concern as a simple experiment, a simple investigation, a simple little adventure that would bring only his interest and soothing his only curiosity. Midas sets out and he walks. He walks quite the opposite way of where he lives, far across to the east. He searches along and around the coasts as he remembers in the detail of this man who had spoken to him, telling that this cave exists only in the hidden areas of the Golden Coast, hidden within its own nature, that no one would ever find it, and those who did find it would know what they were looking for, with the intention they would receive consequences if all failed. As they would be seeking power, they would be greedy, so greedy that they could be punished for such crimes. But Midas didn't care, as he wandered far and wide until he stumbles upon the seams to an opening, just under the hugest mountain, pointing right up to the sky. But under the eyes of Zeus he doesn't see, as he only gazes upon the abundance of the nature, and the abundance of the beauty that only just tops what Aphrodite can provide. So he has his opportunity and seizes it. With his careful and considerate movements, he slips into the seam, breaking into the barrier that separates the living from the dead. He goes further down, realizing that finally he is within the underworld. And he talks to Hades. With meeting him at first glance, Hades is immaculate in all of his devotion to evil. Midas questions him, asking him if he really is what he was told. Hades denying that he cannot give any answers to what any other mortal has told him. With an agreed agenda between the two, he wishes for the only thing that he thinks would bring him the true happiness that he is seeking. I wish to turn everything into the finest resource of man, gold. The deal has been made. And with Hades, he secures this deal, but warns him of a drastic fate for a conclusive consequence that balances his wish. Without much thought, Midas accepts, quickly waking up to the same golden shores of his house. Weirdly, untouched and unharmed, he tries it out, realizing his amazing success. He gains ambition and realizes he is now powerful enough to become the richest man in all of the land of Samothrace. He drives his ambition, with his daughter pleading him to stay in the place that they have done for so long, as that was the very thing that kept her safety. Midas ignores, because he is too blinded by ambition to please his daughter for something she'd never asked for. Midas, he goes on, exploring his power, catching the attention of the mighty Zeus up in the clouds, angers him. Zeus is angry, as he knows this is a work of the dead, of the underground, of the mischievous, the malevolent. Angered, confronting Midas, they have their first interaction and engagement. Midas, first meeting the mightiest god of all Greek lands. He panics, but holds his ground, and in all of his vengeance and his ambition to secure his only power gifted to him by the Underlord, seizes his chance and fights Zeus in a pathetic attempt to try and kill him. Zeus, being the mightiest god, strikes Midas down. He denies Midas any sort of redemption, any sort of sparing his life, as he had committed the ultimate crime against the most divine god of Greece. Midas pleading for his life, he realizes this was the very consequence that was given to him in a warning by Hades. Zeus, he creates his lightning bolt and strikes Midas hard, killing him in the process of the fire. With the ultimate sadness of Marigold once receiving this news, her tears are endless. But in her works to make amends and respects to her father, who only wished to do the best for her, creates his tomb, builds it out of the most secure stone, with only the most beautiful decorative elements to charm his lying body. She protects it with setting the traps, and she creates the best and most only proficient trap of this tomb to warn and brush off and scare away any thieving, malevolent man of this place. She digs a pit so wide, covering all of the space that is where the tomb is positioned in the middle of where Midas' body lays. And with that, she possesses all of the gold that Midas never used. She smelts it, pouring in to the pit, sealing it, ready and set for the rest of the years to come. This concludes the prologue. I hope you loved this story, or at least liked it. Hope you have a fantastic day.